A missing woman, a cryptic ransom note, and a city drenched in secret. What starts as a routine investigation quickly turns into a deadly game of deception. Will Jack uncover the truth before it's too late? It was a wet, gray evening in the fall of 1947, the kind of night that turned New York City into a neon mirage. Slick streets, flashing signs, the ghostly glow of bar lights stretching across puddles like bloody fingerprints. The kind of night where bad things happen to good people, and worse things happen to the ones who weren't so good. Jack Murphy, private investigator, leaned against the crumbling brick wall outside the Blue Devil, a crummy gin joint where the whiskey was watered down, but the trouble always came full strength. He checked his watch for the 100th time, the minute hand crawling toward midnight like it had nowhere better to be. Then, right on cue, a yellow cab sliced through the rain-slicked street, its tires hissing against the pavement. The door swung open, and out stepped Lola LaRue, all curves and danger, wrapped tight in a red dress that caught the light like a fresh wound. "Sorry I'm late, sugar." Her voice was like a cigarette drag, slow and smoky. She pressed a kiss against Jack's cheek, a whisper of heat on his rain-damp skin. Traffic was murder. Jack arched an eyebrow. "You're paying me to listen, doll face." "Spill it." Lola hesitated. Just a flicker, but Jack caught it. She glanced over her shoulder before pulling him into the shadows. "I need you to find my sister," she whispered. "She's been missing for days." Jack felt the familiar tightening in his gut, the kind that said he should walk away, but wouldn't. "What makes you think something happened to her?" Lola's fingers fumbled in her purse, then surfaced with a crumpled scrap of paper. "This was on my doorstep this morning." Jack smoothed it out. "A ransom note. 10,000 for the girl's safe return. Nothing fancy, just blocky letters cut from a newspaper, pasted together like a lunatic's love letter." "This looks professional," Jack muttered. His mind was already working the angles. Where was she last seen? Lola exhaled slow. "We had plans for lunch on Wednesday. She never showed." "That was 3 days ago." "Too long." Jack had seen enough disappearances to know 3 days was a lifetime. They ducked into a diner, the kind of place where the coffee was tar black and the linoleum floor always felt sticky. Jack grilled her over steaming cups, asking about her sister's friends, enemies, debts, men. Through it all, he watched Lola's eyes. And there it was, something coiled up tight behind them. She wasn't telling him everything. By the time he walked her home, the rain was coming down in sheets. He promised he'd get to work. Then he watched her disappear into the night, and something in his bones told him this case was going to be trouble. The next morning, he started with the sister's apartment. The landlady, Mrs. Kowalski, was a frail old thing with suspicious eyes and a mouth that smelled like peppermint and regret. "You must be the detective," she said, looking him up and down like a bad penny. "I been expecting you." Jack stiffened. "Expecting me?" Mrs. Kowalski nodded, lips pursing like she was sucking a lemon. "I seen things. Things I don't like." Jack's gut twisted. "What kind of things?" She hesitated. Then, before she could answer, a car horn blared from the street. Jack turned, just for a second. When he looked back, the old woman was gone, her apartment door clicking shut like a whispered secret. Something cold slid down his spine. As he stepped onto the sidewalk, a taxi screeched to a stop beside him. The driver leaned out, gruff-looking guy, eyes like two burnt-out cigarettes. "Hey, buddy," he said. "You the dick looking for Lola's sister?" Jack's instincts prickled. Who wants to know? The driver grinned, flashing a set of teeth that had seen better days. Let's just say I got some information. Jack climbed in. The cab peeled away, swallowed by the rain. They drove for what felt like hours, the city blurring past in streaks of gold and red. Jack kept his hand close to his gun, waiting for the play. Then the cab jerked to a stop in front of a bar. A real dive. The kind of place where even the shadows smelled like trouble. This is where the magic happens, pal. The driver chuckled, but there was nothing friendly about it. Go on in. Someone's waiting for you. Jack hesitated. Then, with a sigh, he stepped out and pushed open the door. The place was dark, thick with smoke and whispers. Jack's eyes adjusted, scanning the room. Then he saw her. A woman in the shadows, watching him. His pulse kicked up. Something was wrong. Then she stepped forward, and Jack's stomach dropped. Because it wasn't Lola's sister at all. It was someone else. Someone he thought was long dead. And she was smiling.